Hey guys, Torpedo Loan, the most targeted citizen. Hope you're well. I'm struggling. I've decided to try to take the job on myself of pulling the suspension out of this truck. I know that I can do it. It's just point how long it's going to take. The wear and tear that directed weapons have taken on my body is horrendous. So it's hard for me to get done when I need to. I came out earlier today and was working, and I got overloaded, hot, and almost sick. Have to break all the bolts off by hand, which sucked. With a breaker bar and a ratchet. 8 of these big hard bolts and nuts on these U-bolts. It's not fun to do, especially when your body's wrecked with directed energy. And the planes have been dive bombing all day, and I can tell if they're having an effect, whatever weapons are on board. As you hear it coming right over, right there it is, right there above my head. Never ending non-stop. That's the salt air lacing with the purple underbelly and the white wings. You know how loud it is? I can't even come outside my yard without that non-stop harassment. It's been a hard couple of days. It's been rainy and cold. Now it's warm, which sucks. Let me pause this for a second until Tina gets by, because I don't feel like. So, not a fun project. I was watching, because I do quite often, watching Tim Pool and his little news channel he's got. Man making $500,000 a month now. I used to never watch Tim Pool. And the main reason is I want to get my information from somebody that's older and wiser than I am. And I mean that sincerely, and that's not me being pig-headed or smarty pants. It's just that their whole perspective is totally different from mine. When I see things that are factual and true, I know it's factual and true. But people like Tim Pool are like, a minute ago, he showed a news article from St. Louis, I believe it was, where a black man stood over top of a white homeless man in broad daylight, 10 o'clock in the morning, loading a 9mm, gets it jammed, unloads it. We're talking in the middle of the day, 10 a.m. in the morning, right in front of the public, cars going everywhere. He's standing out there on Main Street, St. Louis, loading his magazine to his firearm, jams it, gets it unjammed, while the homeless man's just standing here, sitting on the ground, not knowing what's going on. Finally gets it loaded, racks the chamber, kills him. Well, Tim Pool's like, well, I don't know if this is really real. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. You know, people do this kind of stuff just for attention. And then he reads a little bit farther where it says, oh, yes, it was actually real. And then another video comes on from New York, and it shows an illegal alien, Chinese descent, Main Street, New York, with a rotisserie. Here's the plane again, with a rotisserie with 3 big rats, that size, barbecuing rat on a rotisserie. And Tim Pool says, oh, you know, this is the degradation of society, and the world's coming to an end, and civilization is collapsing. Here's your plane, same one. Civilization is collapsing, but I don't know if this video is real. Who's gonna fake 3 rats on a rotisserie downtown New York? Who's gonna fake that? And what will be the well, you know, people just want things to go viral. No, not every day. People wake up thinking, I gotta come up with a viral video. I mean, I've shot thousands of videos right here on this YouTube channel. I think the video with the most views is 39,000. And that was a video where I was trying to help someone. And I got more disgusting hate for that one than any video I've ever done. But it's just remarkable, the day and age that we're in, that people like Tim Pool just, they don't want to believe anything. It's just like right now, Jim Jordan's having congressional investigations on Twitter, hiding information, Twitter censorship. Now, we know with the January 6th committee, and remember January 6th where they said, oh, it was terrorists in Washington, D.C., and the terrorists, Donald Trump supporters, did all this, that, and the other. Well, guess what happened? Kevin McCarthy, he was forced by Matt Gaetz, and, oh my gosh, I can't think of her name right now, the chick from Colorado, forced by them to turn over all the January 6th videos, 15,000 hours of videos from January 6th. Now remember, for 2 years they told us, oh, terrorists, they broke into the Capitol. Oh, God, look how bad it is. And 5 people were murdered on January 6th. Nope, it's all lies, just like I told you it was lies. At the time I told you it was lies, and people said, you don't know. I knew when it started, before it started, it was all lies. So, in the midst of all that, Jim Jordan, and remember, January 6th committee, it had 2 fake Republicans on it. And for the last 2 years, they've done nothing but dream up this Russia collusion, terrorism, and there's still hundreds of people sitting in solitary confinement in Washington, D.C. prison. Not guilty of any crime, but maybe trespassing. A sham trial, corrupt as it can be. They have no legislative power. They have no way to prosecute anybody, but they're holding those people against their will. So the Republicans finally take over in the Congress. And here Jim Jordan, the same Jim Jordan who was silenced when he wanted to be Speaker of the House, and then they brought up the sex scandal of Jerry Sandusky at Jim Jordan's Ohio State University. That shut Jim Jordan up real quick. That's when I knew he's bought and paid for. But here Jim Jordan is, in front of all these corrupt, and this is how it goes. If it's like January 6th, they bring in all the witnesses that's going to be on the Democrat side. And the Democrats sit there and praise the witnesses, coddle them, and ask them questions they know that they want the right answer for. Okay? But in that committee, it didn't have any actual Republicans. Well, here's the Congress of Jim Jordan. And this is why Republicans will never win. That's why this country is doomed. Because Republicans are, quote this language here, pussies. They're pussies. They ain't got the backbone it takes to stand up to a toddler, let alone the Chinese Communist Party. As the plane makes its 3rd hit in this amount of time. Republicans aren't willing to go eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Every time they want to take the high road and not do what it takes to save America. So we've got Democrats in this committee, the censorship from Twitter, and we got Republicans. So Republicans have got their witnesses, and Democrats got their witnesses. So the Republicans call up and they say, hey, you broke the law, Twitter executives, you did this, you did that. And then the Democrats ask the Twitter guys, oh, this isn't about democracy. They're just mad they lost an election. Hear him idle down? So he can see me in his sight. So it does nothing. It does nothing. It's like, hey, you're my buddy, shake my hand. And then the next guy gets this question answered. Hey, buddy, shake my hand. It's just, they're both jerking off both sides, and they get nothing done. Nothing will come from it because you know why? There is no judicial powers when it comes to these congressmen. Just like on the Senate side, Joshua Hawley was Biden, all his rejects that did not get put into positions of power that Biden wanted. One of them was, the woman was trying to be the archivist. She's the one that helps classify information. She's the one that keeps the records of the White House. So here this woman is being interviewed by Josh Hawley. Lied under oath time after time after time. She took her Twitter. She said, "Oh, my Twitter feed," and that's why these people always get called up, is they talk online and they're scared about what's going to come back and bite them because they said something communist, something that promotes their anti-American, anti-white agenda. So this woman says, "Oh, everything I did on my Twitter was just about this, this, and this, but it was nothing about government. It was nothing about legislation. It was nothing but just my personal feelings on my dog, my sports, and this, that, and the other. So then Josh Hawley starts asking her, well, what's this quote about 5-year-olds should wear face masks all the time because of COVID? What's this quote about all these issues about, oh, here's Ted Cruz and talking about assault weapons and how Ted Cruz needs to stay in his lanes. And this woman's like, that was my personal Twitter and it has nothing to do with government. She said that the entire testimony. It's my personal Twitter and it has nothing to do with government. It's my personal Twitter and it has nothing to do with government. So these people openly lying to Congress. But you know why they get away with it? Because they know that no one will ever be prosecuted for those crimes. It's disgusting. But you let somebody like me get in front of a congressional committee, and they even think I'm lying, they're going to prosecute me to the fullest extent of the law, and they ain't going to care one way or the other about it. Let me get a ratchet real quick.
Hey, there's a baseball field.
Hey, there's a video playing.
Okay, there's a baseball field.
There's a park up there. Across an airport.
We're going to the baseball.
Yep. There's nothing around here that needs to be done. So it's just, nothing's going to change. Here's the plane making it circle. Until the Republicans are willing to stand toe-to-toe and fight just as dirty as the Democrats do, nothing will change. America's a fallen state. It's never going to get better. It's over. It's doomed. Here's another bitch of mine you need to know about. So for the last 4 months, I've walked around with the money that I got in my lawsuit. I have found some of the most beautiful land in North Carolina. Where I want to live is up towards Collettsville, North Carolina. An acre of land in Collettsville is anywhere from $9,000 to $11,000. I can afford that all day long, and I could probably get a little help, sell a couple things. I've decided I'm going to sell all my Harley stuff and sell my Bronco. I'm just going to cash out. I've got to get out of this situation. I got to get out of here. I'm going to sell everything I got. I'm going to keep what I need to work with and make money. But everything else I got, any toys, anything like that, is going to go. Sell my Bronco, sell my Harley. So you guys interested in my Bronco or interested in all my Harleys? Package deal. I got like three Harleys, 4 engines. I've got enough to build 3 or 4 complete motorcycles. But with BlackRock and all these multi-billion-dollar corporations that are coming in and buying our land, North Carolinians' land, dirt cheap, buying it dirt cheap, and then they impose high HOA fees. They impose high restrictions that the county and the city don't have. They make their own restrictions in these giant HOAs. So people like me who can afford the land but don't want to build $1 million house can't have it. So they put an HOA listing on there, $300 a month, $500 a month, $1,000 a year. They put these high HOA fees, and then they tell you you have to build a house with 1,800, 2,500 square feet on that cheap property. So here we go, war of the classes, because this is what it comes down to, the Hunger Games. You may be able to afford the land, but we're not going to let you have it because you can't afford the house. We're going to make you be in our class, or you're going to be down there with the trash. You're going to be with the illegal immigrants. You're going to be with the minority. You're going to be on the lower scale of life. It doesn't matter if you have the money to buy the land that belongs to you as an American citizen. I mean, I'm born and raised in North Carolina. That's my land as much as anybody else's. If I've got the ability to buy it, I should be able to buy it, and I should be able to do what I want on my land as long as it doesn't hurt someone else. But in America, what's going on is they're taking away the American dream. These illegals next door, 10, 12 of them in the house, they're getting a minimum of $800 a month for each person there. Here's the other illegal alien's dog that's been let out because I'm recording. Hear him? Yeah. That's what I deal with. Planes and that. So here we are in America. I've got the money to buy land where I actually want to live in Collettsville. That's where I hunt at. I've got the money for 2 acres right now in my pocket. But if I buy it, guess what I have to do? If I want to build a 1-story house, it has to be 1,500 square feet. If I want to build a 2-story house, it has to be 1,800 square feet. And they can regulate what I build, what kind of house, how big it is, and what I do. That's how they stop people like me from having the American dream. See, I had the dream. I had 10 acres of land. I had everything I wanted. A garage bigger than my home. That's what I wanted, and I worked like hell for it. And this government stole it. I hate this country. I despise America. If I even had an American flag, I would burn it to shreds. Because this country has abandoned the people that worked so hard to make it the way it is. I hate this place. It's disgusting. It is now a third world, Donald Trump's words, crap hole. God bless.